Today we've got a Smart Fortwo. It's a 2008 model, 1 litre petrol with roughly 92,000 miles on the clock. So today this car's in for a service, and as part of the service I'm going to be changing the oil and filter. And as most of you probably know, if you're watching this, that on the smart car the engine is actually in the back underneath the boot floor. So we'll start by gaining access to that and have a look at where the components are. A couple of catches there to drop this down. Going to need to get this out. Right, so we've got a little tab here. Oh yeah, just twist it anti-clockwise, about a quarter of a turn, and that'll pop open. And there you can see one engine. So that's clearly the dipstick, which I will remove actually. Put that on the bench. And the oil filler cap. Just like to remove these before draining the oil. It just allows the air back in the engine and it drains out a bit smoother. Okay, so next we'll take it up in the air and locate the sump plug and the oil filter. Right, so underneath the back of this smart car, you can see here is a sump plug. It's a 24mm. And we've got the oil filter just here, just a spin-on metal canister oil filter. So I'm going to start by just cracking this sump plug loose. I'm using a 24mm single hex socket. It's quite tight. God, that's very tight. I've got my drainer. That's lucky, it will just about slide under there. Hopefully, it's fairly warm, so it's going to come out reasonably fast. Hotter it is, the faster that will come out. Hopefully it won't be too messy. Oh, there we go. I'll pop that drainer down on the floor now. There's not much oil in there. So while the engine's draining down, I'm going to have a go at removing this oil filter. Oh, actually, I think I'll be able to do it by hand. Otherwise, you can get various different oil filter wrenches to fit on the bottom of here, or my usual go-to is a pair of slide grips. But that one wasn't too tight, as you can see anyway. So you will get some oil come out of there. Hopefully it will go in the drainer. That's it. I'll leave that to drain down for a, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes. Right, that's been dripping now for a few minutes. Just going to unscrew it. I'm still bound to get mucky one way or another. Try not to drop it in the bucket. Yeah, and just be ready to catch any more residue oil. As you can see, there's still a fair bit there. So now that's off, I'll just let that run for a few minutes. I didn't want to take it off straight away because that will get messy. Oh, there we go, that's down to a slow drip now already. So when you get your new oil filter, it's a good idea to put some kind of lubrication on the seal there. I just generally just tip it over like that. That's a little bit shorter than the old one. So that's got some oil on it. Just spin that up, nip it up hand tight. When you remove the old one, make sure that the seal has come off, because these do come out. They can get stuck on the housing on the engine there and stick on there. So that's a good tip, just to make sure that that has actually come off. Don't go screwing the new one on with the old seal still stuck to it. So here we have the sump plug out of the smart card. As you can see, it's got a gauze filter on it. It's a good idea to make sure that's clean. I've just given it a blast through with a bit of brake and carb cleaner. And all that does, when you screw your sump plug back in, it butts up against the oil pickup on the oil pump. So when it's drawing in oil to the pump, it pulls it through this gauze first, which helps to prevent any debris going into the pump and into any of the oil ways. Obviously the main filter does that job, but this is just like an additional little gauze filter there. Also on the sump plug you've got a copper washer, which you can pick up when you get your oil and filter from your parts supplier. But usually you can reuse these. Just double check that it hasn't been squashed or split. That looks fine, so I'm pretty certain that's going to seal up okay again. Now this has been dripping for quite a while now, just down to a slow steady drip. So we'll call it a day at that and get this one back in. Doesn't really need to be as tight as it was to remove. Just nip it, because it is only a copper seal there. That'll do. Straight in the bucket. Good shot. So just give this a wipe off. So cost-wise, this filter, you should be able to pick it up for, well, under £10 I would say at this time of recording. Depending on what make you get, they vary only by £2 or £3 each. That's a Bosch one, so that's pretty decent brand. When you go to your car parts outlet, just make sure you've got your registration number handy and they'll be able to recommend what filter you should use. Okay, so I've got my oil here. I'll just put a funnel in there. Dipstick is still out, so hopefully this won't glug back up through the funnel. So when I went to the motor factors, I gave them the registration number. They were able to suggest the type of oil which I need for this vehicle. There are lots of different grades available and different manufacturers. Generally speaking, around about 5 litre can you'd pick up now for about £50 or just under. They did suggest that this engine should hold 3.1 litres of oil. I generally put in slightly less than that to start with and just run it up and dip it and see where the level's at. If you put too much in, it's just a bit of a pain to have to get underneath and take the sump plug out and drain a little bit off. It can get a bit messy. I've done it several times, but I try to avoid that by underfilling slightly and then run it up and check on the dipstick. Right, so that's got 2.9 litres of oil in it so far. I've put the filler cap back on, dipstick back in. I'm just going to start it up. Doesn't need to be revved up, just let it tick over for a little while to allow the oil to circulate. Oil light's gone straight out, so that's a good sign. All sounds normal. Well, that should do. Alright, switch that off. So now I just need to let it stand for 2 or 3 minutes and let the oil all drain down into the sump, and then we'll check the level on the dipstick and see where it's at. Right, so now that that's stood for a few minutes, we'll check on the dipstick and see what's going on. I'm hoping it's between minimum and maximum. Oh yeah, as you can see, well, there's the full and that's the low right down here, so we're just under halfway between the two. So I think I'll go ahead and put the other 0.2 of a litre in and see what that brings it up to. So the reason I do this is, as I said, it's a lot easier just to top up in dribs and drabs rather than go back underneath and having to drain down any excess. And having too much engine oil can cause just as much damage as not having enough, in a way. So you need to be as close to that maximum mark as possible without going over it. Right, so I don't need to run it up again because the oil's already circulated and gone into the filter and through all the galleries. We'll just let it stand again now for another 3 or 4 minutes and check again on the dipstick, and basically just keep repeating this process with small dribs and drabs of oil until you're up to the maximum mark. So from the initial check, I've topped up a couple of times now. And I think you can see there, that is just a millimetre or two from the maximum line. That's a good place to be because the longer it stands, the more oil will slowly drain down into the sump and that level will come up, will creep up. So I'm happy with that. I'm just going to put it back together now. Get rid of that funnel. We'll get the floor panel back in, the carpet down, and take it for a spin. So we've got this cover here. You can see the two flats, sort of tabs there. They locate underneath there and there. So you just got to make sure they're lined up when you slide this back in. Quite easy, really. And then the peg drops down into that clip there. Push it down. Twist that. That's got it. And I've got that carpet to go back down. And there was a plastic tray. Which way around did that go? Oh, that looks like that way. That's it. There we go. Now all that's left to do, I generally run cars around the block whenever I work on them, so I'll give that a run around the block and check underneath, make sure everything's tight and not leaking. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully the video's been of some help for you, and if it has, please consider hitting like and subscribe. It will help our channel out no end. Cheers.